Poverty and pollution are often intertwined, but some nations take it to an extreme, thriving amid mountains of waste. India ranks third in this unfortunate reality, but the worst offender is a country where women live, eat, and even sleep in colossal dumps. Its capital has earned the grim title of the toilet of the earth, with streets so filthy that walking is nearly impossible, and oil spills have decimated the land, leaving devastation comparable to Chernobyl. The world is full of wonders, but today we'll delve into the 10 dirtiest countries on the planet, revealing the harsh truths behind their environmental crisis. But wait, before we dive fully into this, take 2 seconds and subscribe to this channel so you don't miss out on our future amazing content. And hit the like button. 10 dirtiest countries in the world. India ranks third. Women defecating openly on the streets. 1. Bangladesh. Choked by industry and overpopulation. Key issue: heavy industrial pollution. Details: in the heart of South Asia lies Bangladesh, a nation characterized by vibrant cultures and a bustling population that exceeds 170 million people. This densely populated country is a tapestry woven with stories of resilience, yet it is also suffocating under the weight of environmental degradation. The textile and leather industries, which drive the economy and provide millions of jobs, have become double-edged swords. Factories, in their quest for profits, often cut corners, discharging untreated chemicals directly into the rivers. The Buriganga River, once a lifeline for the people of Dhaka, is now a murky reflection of neglect, filled with hazardous toxins that pose grave risks to those who rely on it for drinking and bathing. In Dhaka, the air hangs heavy with pollutants, rendering it one of the most hazardous cities for health. As residents step outside, they are met with a thick, acrid smog that can feel suffocating, leading to chronic respiratory issues and a sense of despair. Children, whose developing lungs are particularly vulnerable, are often the hardest hit. Despite government efforts to tackle waste management and pollution, the rapid urbanization continues to spiral out of control. New construction projects sprout up like weeds, but the infrastructure struggles to keep pace, leaving the citizens caught in a cycle of despair. The challenge is not just about enforcing regulations, but about shifting an entire cultural mindset towards sustainability and environmental stewardship. 2. Pakistan. Struggles with poor waste management. Key issue: inefficient garbage disposal. Details: Pakistan, a nation with a rich history and diverse landscapes, grapples daily with the haunting specter of waste. In sprawling urban centers like Karachi and Lahore, the streets tell a story of neglect as mountains of uncollected garbage accumulate, transforming neighborhoods into makeshift landfills. This unsightly accumulation not only mars the beauty of these cities, but also poses dire health risks. During the sweltering summer months, the stench of rotting waste fills the air, attracting swarms of flies and other pests, which can spread diseases like cholera and dengue fever. The blocked drains, choked with plastic and debris, exacerbate the situation during the monsoon season. As the rain falls, the water has nowhere to go, flooding streets and homes, displacing families, and creating further hardship. The situation is made worse by vehicle emissions that blanket the cities in a thick, toxic smog. With economic and political instability dominating headlines, environmental issues often take a backseat, leaving citizens to fend for themselves in a landscape that seems increasingly hostile. Yet, amidst the chaos, grassroots movements are emerging. Citizens are beginning to organize cleanup campaigns and advocate for better waste management systems, revealing a flicker of hope in the fight against pollution. 3. India. Air pollution crisis. Key issue: hazardous air quality. Details: India, a land of ancient traditions and breathtaking landscapes, is now infamous for its air pollution crisis, especially in megacities like Delhi. On any given day, the air can feel heavy and oppressive, like a thick blanket draped over the city. Schools are forced to shutter as the smog reaches hazardous levels, keeping children indoors and disrupting their education. The culprits are numerous: vehicle emissions, unchecked industrial growth, and the controversial practice of crop burning. Each autumn, as farmers clear their fields, the smoke billows into the sky, turning it a ghostly gray and leaving many gasping for breath. The waste management situation compounds the problem. Landfills overflow with millions of tons of garbage, and illegal dumping is rampant. Streets are littered with plastic and refuse, and open burning of waste sends toxic fumes into the air, further deteriorating air quality. Although the government has initiated policies to promote cleaner technologies and reduce emissions, progress is painfully slow. Citizens are increasingly vocal, taking to the streets to demand cleaner air and a sustainable future. Activists work tirelessly to raise awareness about pollution and its effects on health, pushing for greener practices and greater accountability from industries. 4. Mongolia. Winter heating and air quality issues. Key issue: extreme air pollution from coal. Details: as the biting cold of winter sweeps across Mongolia, a peculiar transformation takes place in the capital city of Ulaanbaatar. The once vibrant cityscape becomes enveloped in a thick, gray blanket of smog, a stark reminder of the consequences of an energy source deeply rooted in the nation's history: coal. For many families living in traditional yurts, the warm glow of coal-fired stoves is a lifeline against the brutal chill. However, this warmth comes at a steep price. Every winter, millions of tons of coal are burned, releasing a cocktail of toxic particles and gases into the atmosphere, creating one of the most polluted capitals in the world. The air thickens, and the sun struggles to penetrate the haze, leaving residents gasping for clean air as they step outside. Children, particularly vulnerable to respiratory issues, are often seen with masks on their faces, their innocent laughter muffled by the suffocating air. Hospitals see a surge in cases of asthma and other ailments, as families are caught in a desperate cycle, torn between the necessity of warmth and the dire health implications of their heating choices. While the government has launched initiatives to promote cleaner, alternative fuels, the harsh economic reality keeps coal as the primary heating source for many households. Cleaner options are often out of reach, viewed as a luxury rather than a necessity. Thus, despite efforts to transition toward more sustainable practices, the allure of cheap coal continues to trap Mongolia in a cycle of pollution. The struggle for clean air is palpable, with hope flickering like a candle in the relentless wind of winter. 5. Afghanistan. Pollution amidst conflict. Key issue: limited environmental resources and infrastructure. Details: Afghanistan stands as a stark reminder of how conflict can devastate not just cities, but the very environment in which people live. The capital, Kabul, once a hub of culture and commerce, is now burdened by the remnants of war and neglect. Streets that once thrived with life are now often choked with uncollected garbage, creating an unsightly and dangerous landscape. The accumulation of waste not only spoils the visual beauty of this historic city, but also fosters an environment ripe for disease and decay. As families navigate through piles of refuse, the stench of decay fills the air, and the threat of contamination looms large. Children play amidst the garbage, unaware of the hidden dangers that lurk within it, while adults grapple with the harsh reality of limited access to clean water and proper sanitation facilities. The ongoing conflict has drained resources that could have been directed toward waste management and environmental rehabilitation, leaving the population vulnerable to health crises. Water sources are often polluted, further exacerbating the cycle of poverty and illness. The air in Kabul tells a story of its own, leaden with fumes from aging vehicles and low-quality fuel. Each breath is a gamble, as the smog thickens and hangs low, creating an oppressive atmosphere. Despite the resilience of the Afghan people, the struggle to address environmental issues continues to be overshadowed by political turmoil. The urgency for action is evident, but the road to recovery is fraught with obstacles, leaving a generation to inherit a legacy of neglect and pollution. Oh, and by the way, I know you're liking this video already. Go ahead right now and show me some love by hitting the like button. Done? All right, let's continue. 6. Nigeria. Plastic waste and oil pollution. Key issue: plastic pollution and oil spills. Details: in Nigeria, the vibrant colors of life can quickly be overshadowed by the stark reality of pollution that plagues the land and its waterways. As Africa's most populous nation, Nigeria grapples with the dual threat of rampant plastic waste and devastating oil pollution. The bustling city of Lagos, known for its dynamic culture and relentless energy, generates an astonishing amount of plastic waste, estimated at over 1 million tons annually. Streets lined with shops and markets often reveal a troubling truth. Discarded plastic bags and bottles litter the landscape, their bright colors a harsh contrast against the backdrop of urban life. The waterways that once flowed clear are now choked with refuse, where fish once thrived. The impact on marine life is catastrophic as plastics and chemicals seep into the ocean, poisoning ecosystems and disrupting the livelihoods of local fishermen. The coastal communities, which depend on fishing, are forced to confront the grim reality that their source of sustenance is becoming increasingly toxic. Efforts to clean up the beaches and waterways are stymied by corruption and a lack of enforcement, creating a sense of hopelessness among those who depend on the ocean for their survival. Adding to the environmental woes, Nigeria's oil industry has been a double-edged sword. While it has brought wealth and economic opportunity, it has also left a legacy of pollution in the Niger Delta region. Oil spills, often the result of outdated infrastructure and sabotage, devastate landscapes and poison waters, leaving communities to grapple with the aftermath. The lush greenery that once flourished is replaced by barren land, and the cries for justice echo as the locals demand accountability from corporations profiting at their expense. In Nigeria, the struggle against pollution is not just an environmental issue. It's a fight for survival, dignity, and the right to a clean, safe home. 7. China. Industrial smog and rapid urbanization. Key issue: industrial and urban air pollution. Details: in the bustling heart of China, where ancient traditions meet modern ambition, the sky tells a story of transformation and turmoil. As cities like Beijing and Shanghai expand at breakneck speed, they've become emblematic of China's rapid industrialization. Yet this progress comes at a cost. The once clear blue skies are often obscured by thick layers of smog, painting a bleak picture of environmental compromise. Factories churn out goods for a global market, their smokestacks belching clouds of toxic emissions into the air. The incessant hum of vehicles, from bicycles to electric cars, contributes to the cacophony of urban life, but also to the air pollution that envelops these megacities. Reports indicate that the air quality in some regions reaches hazardous levels, with residents donning masks as a shield against the invisible threat looming above. Rivers that once sustained communities are now tainted with chemical pollutants and untreated wastewater, a grim reminder of industrial neglect. The government has recognized the gravity of the situation, launching ambitious initiatives aimed at pollution reduction. Investments in renewable energy sources like wind and solar power demonstrate a commitment to cleaner alternatives. Stricter environmental policies have also emerged, reflecting a growing awareness of the need for sustainable development. However, the scale of China's industrial economy presents an overwhelming challenge. With millions of jobs tied to traditional manufacturing and a population that continues to grow, balancing economic growth with environmental protection is a daunting task. The quest for clean air and water is not just a matter of policy, it's a fight for the future of millions who call this vibrant yet burdened nation home. 8. Iran. Air pollution and desertification. Key issue: smog and lack of green spaces. Details: in Iran, a land rich in history and culture, the air speaks volumes about the nation's struggles. Cities like Tehran, once known for their picturesque landscapes, now grapple with a toxic haze that casts a shadow over daily life. This smog, a potent mix of vehicle emissions and industrial discharges, has reached alarming levels, particularly during the harsh winter months when air stagnation traps pollutants close to the ground. As the dust storms swirl, they carry with them not just sand but also the remnants of a land in distress. Desertification exacerbates these storms, stripping away fertile soil and leaving behind a barren landscape. The once thriving gardens and parks that offered respite to the city's inhabitants have dwindled, contributing to an alarming lack of green spaces. Without the natural filtration systems that trees provide, the air quality continues to deteriorate, making recovery seem like an impossible dream. While the Iranian government has made attempts to combat these issues, such as introducing stricter vehicle emission standards and promoting public transportation, the results have been inconsistent at best. The complexities of political, economic, and social factors often sideline environmental concerns, leaving a weary population to breathe in the consequences of neglect. As citizens yearn for a breath of fresh air, the pressing question remains: how can a nation so rich in natural beauty reclaim its skies and its health? 9. Haiti. Deforestation and waste crisis. Key issue: deforestation and waste accumulation. Details: in the vibrant yet struggling nation of Haiti, nature's bounty is rapidly diminishing, with stark consequences for both the environment and its people. The lush landscapes that once characterized this Caribbean island are succumbing to the relentless advance of deforestation. Many communities depend on wood for cooking and heating, leading to large-scale tree felling. This practice not only strips the land of its natural resources, but also renders it vulnerable to erosion and devastating floods during the rainy season. Amid this environmental degradation lies a waste crisis that has reached critical levels. Garbage is strewn across the streets, with rivers serving as both a dumping ground and a source of water for many. The lack of a structured waste management system has turned daily life into a health hazard, with refuse becoming a breeding ground for disease. Families often find themselves in a precarious position, forced to navigate around mounds of trash, while hoping for a solution that seems perpetually out of reach. Efforts to establish alternative fuel sources and effective waste collection have been stymied by a combination of poverty, political instability, and a lack of international support. As the world watches, Haiti stands as a poignant example of the intersection between environmental sustainability and social justice, calling for urgent action to help restore its natural beauty and improve the quality of life for its resilient people. 10. Iraq. Post-conflict environmental neglect. Key issue: pollution from infrastructure damage and neglect. Details: Iraq, a country steeped in rich history, now bears the scars of decades of conflict, manifesting in crumbling infrastructure and environmental neglect. Once a cradle of civilization, it now faces significant pollution challenges as the remnants of war leave their mark on both the land and its people. The air is often thick with smoke from burning oil wells and outdated power plants, filling lungs with toxins and turning once clear days into a dismal gray haze. Water pollution runs rampant, with untreated sewage and industrial waste flowing into rivers that were once vital sources of life and nourishment. Communities struggle to find clean drinking water, as the very rivers that sustain them now threaten their health. This grim reality illustrates the urgent need for rebuilding not just the physical structures, but also the environmental integrity of the land. The Iraqi government is aware of these pressing issues, yet political instability and economic challenges often overshadow environmental concerns. Resources that could be allocated to cleanup efforts and infrastructure improvements are frequently diverted to immediate survival needs. As the nation stands at a crossroads, the quest for a cleaner, healthier environment is intricately tied to the broader struggle for peace and stability. Iraq's future hinges not only on restoring its past glory, but also on prioritizing the health of its people and their environment. In conclusion, these countries represent diverse challenges in addressing pollution, each with unique social, economic, and political factors that make environmental progress challenging. Global attention, resources, and innovative solutions are essential to support these nations as they work to create cleaner, healthier environments for their citizens. Addressing pollution and waste is crucial not only for each country, but for the health of the planet as a whole. Let us have your thoughts in the comment section below. Thank you for joining us. If you found this information enlightening, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more insightful content about cities and cultures from around the world.